Okay. Uh, Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, that is the cash book and the petty cash book. Right. Today, in the previous chapter, we understood about primary books. Now we are going to discuss each primary book separately in detail. Our new chapter is that is chapter number 8, the cash book and the petty cash book. Under this chapter, we are going to understand the following facts are discussed in this chapter. Cash book. Introduction of cash book, dual function of cash book, recording transaction in the cash book, balancing of the cash book and other accounts, recording transactions related to cash discounts, and we will be discussing petty cash book, petty cash interest, preparation of petty cash book with analysis column. Right. Cash book. This is the primary book in which the receipts and payments of cash currency are recorded. A business has various sources of cash receipt as well as different ways of payment. What is a cash book? So the cash book is the primary book which is used to record cash receipts and payments occurred in a business during a certain period of time. That is the main primary book. Then in a business, there can be different sources of cash receipts and cash payments. Then we can define cash book at the examination in simple manner. Cash book is a primary book which is used to record cash receipts and cash payments occurred during a certain period of time. Right. Then examples for sources of cash receipts of a business. There can be different sources of cash receipts in a business. Then, for example, the owner's capital. When the owner introduces capital to the business, then business receives cash. Cash sales. The main income source of a business is sales income. Then, when the business has cash sales, then they receive cash. Cash received from debtors. When the business sells goods or provide a service on credit, they create another asset called debtors. Then the people who purchase goods or got the service will pay later. Then when they pay money to the business receives cash. That is the meaning of cash received from debtors. Next one, borrowing money. We can borrow money from other third party like bank or another financial institution or another company. They come under borrowing money. Next one, cash receipt for rent income, investment income, and income on commission. Then we can have different type of income sources other than main income source of sales income. Cash receipt from rent income. If a business has rented out their own building, then they can receive rent income. If the business has invested their money in other places, then they receive annually or monthly, sometimes interest, then dividend, like that. Investment income and income on commissions. No, we can have two types of commissions: commission expenses and commission income. Here, for providing different services, business can have commissions income. That is a receipt of money. Then examples for payments of money. Then purchase of goods for cash. When the business purchases goods for cash, then money goes out. Payment of loans. That means if the business has obtained a loan, then they have to repay. Then when the business repays the loan, then money goes out. That is a payment. Cash payment to creditors. when the business settle their due amount to the suppliers, those who provide goods to the business on credit, then money goes out, cash payment to creditors. Next one, payments made for expenses such as salaries for employees, electricity. Business has to meet different type of expenses, then money goes out. Payments made for expenses as salaries, those are working in the business, electricity. Payments made for purchasing fixtures such as furniture, equipment. Business has to buy different type of non-current assets to be used in business to generate income for the business. Then business has to pay in cash. Withdrawal of cash by the owner for personal use, drawings. If the owner takes money for their personal matters, then it's called drawings, cash drawings. Then money goes out. Last one, it is called drawings. The receipts and payments of cash by the business are recorded in the cash book using receipts and payments, vouchers, respectively as source documents. When they record cash receipts, the business has used a source document called receipt. Then the business take all the details regarding cash receipts from receipts, and when the business records details regarding cash payments, they use payment voucher. That is the source document to prove cash payments. Right. Then we have to understand in detail the receipt. What is the receipt? Receipt is a source document which is used to record cash receipt to the business from different sources. Receipts is a source document which is used to record cash receipts to the business. Then the business will take all the details from the receipt. Then in the receipts, they have included the person who paid money to the business, the amount issued in number and the words, and the date they received money, and the nature of the transaction. Likewise, there can be all the details regarding cash receipts in the receipts. When a business receives cash, the business would issue a document called a receipt to the party who gave money to the business as evidence for such a receipt. Actually, receipt is a written document to prove the business transaction. It gives the evidence for such a cash receipt to the business. A serial number in consecutive order is printed on it. Receipt is issued by the business. Therefore, the receipt book, there can be a serial number order. This receipt is issued with the details such as date of cash receipt, the reason why it was received, the amount received, and the signature of the cashier. Signature of the cashier means the person who issued the receipt. He or she should put the signatory to accept the responsibility of issuing this type of receipt, a document. This is also known as the cash receipt or cash memo. This receipt is also known as a cash receipt or cash memo. Receipt is the written evidence of cash received by the business. A duplicate of the receipt should be received by the accounts branch, and it should be used as a source document to record the receipt of cash in the cash book. Receipt can be prepared in different formats according to the nature and requirement of the business. There is no specific format for a receipt. A business could use a receipt that has a general format as indicated below. This is the format for a receipt. This is the format for a receipt. Here they have mentioned serial number 20513, the name of the document receipt. Then this is the business name, Anoma Bookshop, 82 Aralia Road, Marakama. They have mentioned their business telephone number and date. Whether the receipt is issued, they have to mention the date. Then in the body part, they had mentioned received with thanks, the sum of rupees. This amount they had to mention in words. Receivable for the invoice number, they have to mention the invoice number. If they receive money from the customer by cash or check. Here they had mentioned the amount, the value in number, and they had to put the signature prepared by and checked by. Signature of the authorized officer, most probably accountant. Then cash memo also same. It is also a type of receipt. Different businesses, they use this format also depending on their requirement. Then the document name, cash memo, serial number 4856, W Enterprise 245, Saharamount, the Maharakama. They have mentioned their telephone number, date, and name. Name means the customer's name, the person who paid money to the business, and they have mentioned item description, quantity, unit price, total value, and final grand total. And here also they have mentioned who has prepared this document, who has checked the document, and signature of the authorized officer. Right. Then when your family member buy goods by paying money from various organizations, different type of receipts are issued by those organizations. Collect such receipts. See whether the above mentioned contents are there in those receipts. For example, when you pay your school fees or term fees, if it is a private school, they have to pay money for their schooling quarterly. Then the business accepts money and issues a receipt to the student. Sometimes even in government school, when they accept facility fees and other charges, they issue a document to prove the transaction. Then if you go to the market and buy something, then after you pay money, the relevant organization will issue a receipt. Then you can check what they have mentioned in the receipt and do this activity one. Payment voucher. What is a payment voucher? Actually, payment voucher is a document which is used to take details regarding cash payments. When a business records cash payments in the cash book or cash account, they have to use a payment voucher, take details regarding cash payments. If I repeat the same definition, payment voucher is a document which is used to take details regarding cash payments occurred during a certain period of time. Then here also we can expect serial number, order, because the party who prepares the document is the business organization. Therefore, we can accept a serial number order. Then the payment voucher is a document prepared by the business with the relevant details as an evidence that cash payments are made, which also should be authorized by a responsible officer. The payment voucher provides details as an evidence that cash payments are made. Every payment voucher is given a consecutive serial number. This is a written evidence of such payments because it should be authorized by a responsible person. There is no commonly accepted format for payment vouchers, but a voucher could be prepared based on the following general format. This is the commonly accepted format for a payment voucher. Here in the center, they have mentioned name of the business organization, Priyani Company Limited, Mahatma. They have to mention date, right hand side, and the serial number to pay Mr. Mrs. They have to mention the name of the person who takes money from the business, details, amount paid. Then if they have mentioned, issued a check, they have to mention check number. The signature of the preparer, the person who prepared the document. They have mentioned signature of the officer who authorized the payment, especially accountant. Signature of the certifying officer. There can be separate officer to certify this document. Right. Now we are going to understand the dual function of a cash book. Actually, now they have changed their syllabus, especially for local advanced level students. Now we have no dual function of the cash book. Now for advanced level syllabus, we prepare cash journals, that is separately cash receipt journal and cash payments journal. And combining those two, we prepare cash control account. But for ordinary level examination, still they use this concept, dual function of the cash. Dual means two. If you take cash book, it has two functions. That is the meaning of dual function of the cash book. Cash book actually is a day book or prime entry book or journal, because we record cash receipts and cash payments details for the first time in the cash book. Therefore, we say it. The cash book plays the role of day book or journal. If the business records cash receipt and cash payments for the first time in the cash book, then it is called cash book plays the role of journal or day book. The second function, cash book has two sides, debit side and credit side. Therefore, when you record cash receipt and cash payments in the cash book, the business has to apply double entry principles. Then we say the cash book has the role of an account. When you receive money, we have debit to cash book. The reason asset increases and credit to the opposite account. When you pay money, we have debit the opposite account and credit the cash book. The reason asset decreases. Therefore, we say cash book has the function of ledger account. That means as the cash book plays the role of day book, that means as we use cash book to record business transaction, they are cash receipt and payments for the first time in the cash book. We say cash book has the role of day book or prime entry book. Second function, cash book plays the role of a ledger account, because in the cash book we have debit side and credit side. Therefore, we can apply double entry principles in the cash book. Therefore, we say cash book has the role of ledger account. Here they have mentioned cash book functions as a primary book as business records the receipts and payments of cash at first. That is for the first time in the cash book in a serial order or sequential order using the receipt and payment vouchers as source document. Cash book also functions as a ledger account as it had both the debit and credit side. Therefore, cash book performs two functions. Number one, performs the function as a primary book. Why? Because the business records business transaction for the first time in the cash book. Therefore, it has the role of primary book. Second function performs the function as a ledger account. We apply double entry principle when we record cash receipt and payments in the cash book. That's why we say performs the function of ledger account. Right. Next heading is recording of cash transaction. Recording of cash transactions. Cash is an asset of the business. The receipt of cash increases asset and the payment of cash decreases asset. Therefore, the double entry principle for asset accounts should be applied for recording cash transaction in the cash. Cash receipt. Cash book debit. The rule, the increase of asset debited. Payment of cash book credit. The rule, the decrease of asset credited. Yeah. When you record cash receipt in the cash book, we have debit to cash book and credit to the opposite account. What is the reason? Cash is asset. Asset increases debit. When you record cash payments, we have to credit to cash book. The reason cash asset decreases. Asset decreases credit. That's why we have to credit to cash book and debit to the opposite account. Accordingly, all the cash receipts should be debited. Accordingly, all the cash receipts should be debited and all the cash payments should be credited in the cash book. Since the cash book functions as a ledger account, when the business receives cash, the debit entry of the double entry for that transaction entered in the cash book. Only the credit entry of the relevant account has to be posted in the ledger. Similarly, the payment of cash is credited in the cash book. And the credit entry of the double entry entered in the cash book. Only the debit entry of the relevant account has to be posted in the ledger. Accordingly, the values that are debited in the cash book should be credited to the relevant accounts in the ledger. The values that are debited in the cash book should be credited to the relevant accounts in the ledger. For example, when the business receives money from the customer, we debit to the cash book and credit to the customer's account. When you receive cash from cash sales, then we debit to cash book and credit to the sales account. When the owner introduces capital to the business, we debit to the cash book and credit to the capital account. Then secondly, the values that are credited in the cash book should be debited to the relevant accounts in the ledger. That means when you make a payment by cash, then we have to credit to the cash book. The reason asset decreases credit, then we have to debit the opposite account. For example, when the business pays salaries to the employees, we debit to the salaries account and credit to the cash book. When the owner takes business money for his or her personal use, then we debit to drawings account and credit to the cash book. When the business meet other expenses, then the business has to debit to the relevant expense account and credit to the cash book. Right. Here, you are given an example. Following transactions in cash took place during the month of January in Lakshmini's business, which was commenced on the 1st January. That means newly started business, which was commenced on 1st January. We can't have opening balance in the cash book or in other accounts because these are just started, newly started business. They have given you details regarding date they received or paid money, the receipt number, voucher number. You know, receipt will be used to record cash receipt. Voucher, payment voucher will be used to record cash payments. Therefore, we use these two columns separately, and you are given details regarding each transaction. The transactions which are given in the example above are recorded in cash book, and the relevant ledger accounts of Lakshmini's business are presented below. Now I can explain the answer which is available in your textbook with the question. We prepare cash book something big one, because in a business we can have only one cash book. Therefore, when you record cash receipt and payments, we should take space. Then we can draw a big cash book that is equal. You can take half of a page in your book. Here in the cash they have mentioned is a format for cash book, date column, receipt number, description, ledger folio, amount or value. Again, from this point to rightwards, we have credit side. Again, in the credit side, we got a date column, voucher number column, description column, ledger folio, and amount. From this point of the cash book, we divide into two parts. From this point to leftwards, debit side. From this point to rightwards, credit side. That's they have mentioned DR and CR. But at the examination, you don't need to mention DR and CR. The first example, that's why they have mentioned in the book. For other accounts, we can just do T accounts like this: date, description, ledger folio, value. Again, credit side, date, description, ledger folio, value. If you take just a ledger account, even in ledger account, this is the center. From this point to leftward, debit side. From this point to rightwards, credit side. Right, now we can discuss each transaction. Date 1st January 2020, receipt number 101, capital invested by the owner. When the owner introduced money to the business, cash asset increases. Therefore, we can debit to cash account amount 80,000, and description always you write opposite account name capital here, date 1st January, receipt number 1. They have given you 001 receipt number. And we can credit to capital account. Here they have prepared the capital account. Then they have credited 80,000 say in cash. Always we write description, the opposite account's name in account. Date, the same date. Then date 2nd January, voucher number 001, bought goods for resale 45,000. That means they have purchased goods in cash. If they have issued a payment voucher, that means they have paid money to acquire goods. The amount is 45,000. Then we have to debit to purchasers account, because expenses increases, the main expense will be purchases. Then is the expense account, then expenses increases debit. The principal is debit. That's why they have debited purchases account 45,000 say in cash 2nd January. And we have to credit to cash account 2nd January saying purchases 45,000, voucher number 001. When you make a payment, cash asset decreases. That's why they have created 45,000 cash account. Then next transaction, 4th January, receipt number 2, obtain a bank loan 50,000. When you ask a bank loan, you receive money. Therefore, we can debit to cash account. Reason, cash asset increases. Description, bank loan, receipt number 2. Then bank loan is non-current liability. Liability increases credit. Therefore, we can have separate account for bank loan. This is a bank loan account. And they have credited 50,000, say in cash, 4th January. Next transaction, 8th January, payment voucher 002, bought furniture for 8,000. Furniture comes under non-current assets. Therefore, asset increases stable. We can have separate account For furniture, this is a furniture account, and we can debit 8,000 say cash, date 8 January, and we can credit to cash account as we have made the payment to acquire furniture. Voucher number 002, description furniture, they have credited 8,000. Next transaction, 15th January, voucher number 003, rent paid 6,000. Rent paid is expenses. Therefore, expenses increases debit, then we can have separate account for rent expenses. Expenses increase debit, therefore they have debited 6,000 say in cash 15th January. When you pay rent, cash decreases, then asset decreases credit, therefore we can credit to cash book 15th January. Voucher number 003, shop rent 6,000. Next transaction, 18th January, receipt number 3, goods sold for cash 40,000. When you sell goods for cash, you receive money, then asset increases, then we can debit to asset account. Cash 40,000 say in sales, receipt number 3, 18th January, and credit to the sales account because income increases credit, therefore the main income source is sales account. Then we can credit to sales account 40,000 say in cash 18th January. Next transaction, 20th January, receipt number 04, cash receipt from debtor Pawan 30,000. When you receive money, cash asset decreases, therefore they have debited cash book 30,000. Description debtor Pawan, receipt number 4, 20th January. Then Pawan is a debtor or customer. He comes under asset, asset decreases credit, therefore you can credit to Pawan's account 30,000. Description cash, date 20th January. Next transaction, 24th January 004 payment voucher, cash paid to creditor Surat 34,000. When you pay money to settle their due amount, the liability decreases. Therefore, we can debit to Surat's account. Surat is a liability supplier. Therefore, creditor Surat, we have debited 34,000 say in cash, the date 24th January. When the business makes a payment to settle their due amount, cash asset decreases, therefore we can credit to cash account. Creditor Surat 34,000, date 24th January, voucher number 004. Next transaction, 25th January, voucher number 005. Cash taken for personal use 5,000. That is drawings. If the owner has taken business money, it will affect to reduce their capital, but we record in a separate account, drawings. Then drawings increases debit, therefore we can debit to drawings account. They are debited 5,000 in value, description cash 25th January. Then we can credit to cash account because money goes out, then asset decreases. Credit drawings amount 5,000, voucher number 005, date 25th January. Next transaction, 26th January, receipt number 5, interest income received 3,000. Then when the business received income in cash, we debit to cash account because asset increases debit, say in interest income, that is opposite account's name, receipt number 5, date 26th January. Then we can have separate interest income account, income increases credit, therefore we can credit to that income account, 3,000 credited, description cash, date 26th January. Interest income increases credit. Last transaction, repayment of bank loan 6,000, voucher number 006, date 28th January. When you settle liability, liability decreases debit, depending on that concept, we can debit to bank loan account 6,000. When the business settled the bank loan, liability comes down. Therefore, we can debit to bank loan account 6,000. Liability increases, liability decreases debit. Therefore, they have created, therefore, they have debited 6,000 to the bank loan account. Liability decreases. Say in cash, 28th January. When the business settled the liability, paying money goes out, then asset decreases credit. Therefore, they have credited cash book 6,000, same bank loan voucher number 006, date 20th September. We recorded all the transaction, then you should know how to balance the cash book. Our next lesson will be balancing of ledger accounts. You know, after recording all the transaction, we have to balance the ledger accounts at the end of each period.